welcome to another edition of Not Late Night. Of course, I'm Michael Nayt, and along with me is my fabulous co-host, Miss Carrie Francis. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? I heard the F come out, and I wasn't sure what was going to come out after that. My fabulous co-host. Remember we used to do the alphabet?
Yeah.
It could have been fat. It could have been
messed up.
Could have been anything.
Yeah, it could be. I'll tell you, we definitely come off the wall with some strange stuff sometimes. But hey, we got a great show coming up today. We've got a longtime friend of mine. He's been a friend of mine for several years via the New Visions Radio Network. Matter of fact, I passed the torch on to him, and along with him, we've got one of his co-hosts of one of his shows. He does several different shows. Dare to Be Better with Ray and Sid. So none other than let's welcome in Ray Powers and Sid. How are you doing?
How are you, buddy?
Hi, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, Carrie.
Hi.
I'm in radio.
Nice to
F-words
have
make
you.
me nervous. Thank you.
Now, my biggest question is, Ray, how did you and Sid become involved in a radio program?
Well, I'll give my take, and then Sid will either refute it or she will corroborate. But we shared an agent, and as you know, I've had the Ray Powers Hour for the past 5-6 years. Mostly music-based talk show, and I mostly have recording artists. But then our agent said, would you step outside the box and interview other people? From time to time, I do that. I've had Pepper J on. I've had some celebrities and stuff. So I said, sure. And he said, well, here's Sydney Hall. And I'm like, well, who's he? And she goes, no, it's a she. I got the press kit. And I'm like, wow, that is not a he for sure. And I said, well, okay, we can certainly do this. This will be fun. And Sid and I hit it off immediately. And the show went very well. The ratings were well. The replays were even better. And within a week or two, Sydney goes, you know what? You need a new show. Here's your format. I'm your co-host. And X, Y, and Z. A couple months later, here I am. And here we are.
Oh, I love her. She's a girl after my own heart. Takes control.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sid?
So what kind of a show is it? It's called Dare to Be Better, so it's based on real everyday people, or?
Yeah, Sid, take it.
Well, okay, so Dare to Be Better, I will tell you, I had myself been looking for a co-host for almost 30 years. So Ray always
Are you serious?
Wait. Mm-hmm. And I'm a girl, man. I will dig my heels in until I get what I want. So, yes, I have been searching for my co-host for 30 years. And then I had this interview with Ray, and as I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, oh, my gosh, there's this chemistry. I mean, this is the gig, right? So I did. I approached a couple days later. I have no qualms with this because I have nothing to lose and everything to gain, right? And I just said, hey, this is what we need to do. Here's your concept, blah, blah, blah. And so the concept is, so I love life. I love helping people reinvent themselves, help them find gratitude in their life, help them to just see that life is anything and everything you choose it to be. And so Ray and I, we use stories, from our parents, from life, and we tell stories in order to create a vehicle to something better in life. And it really does influence the spirit to alter and choose to change. That's what we do.
That's awesome. I love that premise. And do you have people that call in ever?
We don't have call-in so much, but we do read email, and then we will, tackle the subject because it's just the two of us. It is a podcast format. A table, we're sitting across from each other. And if we took phone calls, I just think it's only a half-hour show. We probably wouldn't get...
It would eat into it.
Yeah. Right, a 3-hour show, you want content, but 30 minutes flies, as you know.
Well, our
no, we still want content in 30 minutes.
our format takes after Seinfeld, a show about nothing.
We reference Seinfeld all the time.
It's a show about nothing,
that.
literally.
That's beautiful. Literally, that's so beautiful. So, see, no one's ever disappointed. They're like, well, there it is again. Nothing.
Right.
I can excel at nothing.
We just talk about whatever, you know.
Yeah, that's excellent of you two to be able to do that. I mean, you just show up each time and no one's ever disappointed. That was nothing. Yeah.
I think half of our listeners just want to hear if we're really who we say we are. They want to hear what our voices sound like, and they're like, okay, I'm satisfied. Bye.
Number one, are you going to show up? Number two, where's it going to go?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I remember when I first started doing the radio podcast, gosh, it was back in 2005, maybe 2006, somewhere around there, a long time ago. And I remember my very first show was on Blog Talk Radio, and I was in the chat room, and there was people popping in the chat room, and I was watching them, and they'd like disappear and then reappear and disappear and reappear. So I knew that they were like refreshing their screen because for some reason. And come to find out, after the show was over, I had my mic on mute the entire time, and so it was an hour-long show of absolutely nothing.
See, he didn't disappoint.
No, and they stuck with you. How brilliant
they stuck
is
with
that?
him.
I did the opposite on the very first Ray Powers Hour. It was live, and I had a hot mic, and as I'm getting ready to go on the air, I'm already on the air, and I'm sitting there probably cursing under my breath, and I'm hitting buttons, and finally, Megan Pennington calls, and he goes, hey, idiot, you might want to mute your mic, or something.
Or something.
Yeah,
well, hey, at least we know we can get together and just laugh, if nothing else.
Yeah, Terry joined me not too long after in an episode that I had Ryan Andreas, who was on America's Got Talent, and this was several years ago. And I had him on the show, and Terry was
oh boy, here we go.
and that's how she ended up becoming my co-host. Was after she'd called in. I don't know, just something about Terry I liked, and so we decided to start doing the show together and renamed the show Not Late Night, and because we're never on late at night, except for maybe on your New Visions Radio, but as far
and
as
it's your last name.
Yeah, and then the NAYT, of course, is the Michael Knight. So we use that, and but yeah, it's been a fun run, and we've been kind of on and off here the last few years. But I did tune into some of your shows, Ray and Sid, and found them quite fun to listen to. You guys have
thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah.
You know,
so you guys have been together how long now?
Oh, it's only been a couple
episodes. I just wondered how long you've been together. Oh, a couple.
Oh, go ahead.
Since April 13th. We've been together
April
since
13th?
April 13th.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and you know, we've kind of slid into a rhythm with one another, and I think the thing that really creates the magic is that he really is the play-by-play guy. You know what I'm saying? He keeps things ticking along. He keeps everyone in order, meaning me. And I'm the color commentator. You know, I'm left and I'm right and I'm up and I'm down. It's not this one episode he says to me afterwards. I don't even think he remembers. He says to me as we're walking out of this hotel, he goes, you know, Sid, maybe in the next episode you could share the mic a little more with me. And I'm like, okay. So
I'll give it a try.
So much. Yeah, I attempted to not talk so much, and we get to about the middle of it, and Ray says to the listeners, well, I guess we have nothing else to say because we're just sitting here staring at each other. And I'm like, no, I have a crap load to say.
I have plenty to say.
You.
It's your turn to speak. Speak, damn it.
And it's difficult when you're doing it remote.
Well, no, we're face to face.
Yeah, we're face to face. We're literally staring at each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you fly to New York to do the shows, don't you, Sid?
Oh, yeah, you got to stir up New York. The New Yorkers, they don't know what to think about me. I love it. Stir it up. You know, you got to skip and smile. And I made 3 new friends in less than 30 minutes out just walking on the streets of New York. Yeah, they're going to fly out and visit.
You know, New York.
Awesome.
People are afraid to talk to each other in New York.
You
We won't even look at each other.
Without the...
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's right. No, I said, you know, people like on the subway, you won't even look at the next person next to you. And there's Sid chatting away, and she's got, you know, all these friends and phone numbers. She's like, yeah, come out to Salt Lake. We'll hang out. We'll do this. And she has these actual phone numbers of people and Facebook pages and LinkedIn pages. And she's like, yeah, I made a bunch of friends this afternoon at lunchtime. Comes up the break, and she's got like a whole page of friends.
Well, you're not shy, are you, Sid?
No. That's how come I dared to go pitch this. And what's so funny is when I was pitching to Ray this concept that he needs a new show, and after I was done pitching, I'm like, Ray, so do you want it? He goes, oh, I need to. I go, yeah, I'm pitching now, Ray. He goes, okay. I go, no, you've got to say yes or no. So he's like, yes, excellent. So that's how I work.
She must be cute.
Extremely.
It can't hurt. It can't hurt.
What else is he going to say? But listen, I paid Ray to say that. Just know that.
The Venmo just hit my account. We're good.
Yes, we're good.
Venmo.
It's kind of scary, Ray.
You know, first they're a guest on your show. You blink your eyes, they're sitting right next to you. How does that happen?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's because we know how to blink our eyes.
I guess. You flutter them and boom. Now you got a co-host.
What amazes me is her willingness to spend money to fly to New York to spend some time with you.
Well, I wonder what's your problem that you haven't flown me anywhere.
Well, you know, the accountant will review the budget at the end of the year, and if we're not hitting the nut, then we're going to get spanked on the carpet. But so far, so good. We're earning our keep, so
none of that.
We should be okay.
You're doing a foursome.
Spanked on the carpet. That sounds like something else on my bucket list.
Yeah, none of that sounds
This must be a
really
big
like
bucket.
what we should be talking about. Yeah.
Well, it said dare to be better. It didn't say at what.
Exactly. Michael's just sitting at his end going, what have I gotten myself into?
Ray, you've known me a long time. How can I be better?
How can you be better? Michael, you're just perfect. Don't change. Well, Michael doesn't hold back, as you know. Bitter or bitter. Michael's a lot like Sydney. They don't hold back. If you want to know what's on their minds, they will tell you unfiltered.
Yeah.
That's true. Very true.
Michael also loves getting a rise out of people, which I love about him.
Yeah, I do like to get people wondering sometimes.
Out of their comfort zone?
Yeah. I think my favorite question I ever asked a guest, and this was a young kid who was a musician, singer-songwriter, and I asked him straight up. I said, "So why did you get into the music business? Was it because you wanted fame or fortune, or did you want more pussy?" And he went totally blank. He couldn't even answer the question.
The answer is yes.
It's always yes.
Yeah, or they're lying.
Yes.
Unless you're mom, then it's always no.
Of course, right. If mom's listening, it's like, no, I just love music. I wanted to make mom proud and make sure those piano lessons were well spent.
That's funny.
So
I wish I could have seen that kid's face.
So
Michael, did you leave? I was wondering if Michael took off.
You both seem like you're having a lot of fun together. How often do you get together to record your shows?
Once a month. We'll do 4 in a row, and then this way we got a block of them. We air them usually on the blogs and all the podcast platforms. They like them all at once. When you have 4, they want 4. They like to binge. On YouTube, on the radio, we'll spoon feed them one at a time. But if Sid comes out once a month, it's more cost effective that way, and then I can edit a little bit more at my leisure, and it buys you more time than doing it once a week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's a write-off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I said, that accountant's going to look at the ledgers, and we'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
So Sid, where in Utah do you live without putting yourself in peril?
No, I live in Salt Lake, and it's gorgeous out here, especially right now with the trees changing.
Changing.
It's spectacular here in Utah.
It is beautiful. I've been there many times.
Oh, have you? Have you been to Fort
In
City?
college, especially. I went to college in Rexburg, Idaho.
Oh my gosh, you did? Wow.
I did.
Wow.
So we would go to Salt Lake all the time.
Yeah, well, it is gorgeous right now with the trees changing and, all of that going on. So,
yes,
very pretty.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Very beautiful there.
Have you always lived in Utah, Sid?
So I was literally born in the Philippines on the side of the road with a cardboard box and a mother in complete poverty. She literally lived
Are you
in a cardboard
being
box.
serious now?
Mm-hmm.
She's serious.
Yeah. I'm
She
dead
is.
serious. So I am a girl this is why I had to approach Ray, because I live life based upon having gratitude. Every day I'm always doing whatever I need to do so I can show my birth mom through action and my parents here that they have literally gifted me with the greatest life I could ever have, because if I would have not been put up for adoption, it would have been prostitution or trafficking, from that cardboard box. So, yeah, that is really what our basis is. It's about how to find your happiness, because happiness really isn't out there in the world, it's in you, and how to have gratitude, because gratitude is the vehicle to more joy and fulfillment. So, yeah,
absolutely.
That's where I was born. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's amazing. That's an amazing story, and I love your attitude.
Well, thank you.
You should be a life coach.
Well, thank you. I'm not that, but I love doing it. And I want people to really see that life is quite a brilliant place to be when you understand there's a process to it. And the process is, if you don't have gratitude, you will never find joy or happiness. It's as simple as that.
It really is.
Yeah. So
what would you tell somebody who says, I can't find it and I am grateful?
Or you're like me, I'm just crazy, so I find happiness everywhere.
There you go.
No, I was actually asking Sid, Michael.
We know Michael's crazy.
We already know you're crazy.
Well, I can be Sid for 5 seconds, right?
Okay.
What were you asking?
I was saying, what do you tell the person who says, I am grateful, but I just can't find that happiness, that happy point?
then I say this: point of view is everything. It's 100% everything. So you may want to relook what your point of view is, because your point of view will directly connect you to where you are in life, to your fulfillment or lack of. Point of view is 100% of everything. And if you can't alter your point of view, you will never find gratitude. And if you can't find your gratitude, you're never going to find joy or happiness.
Exactly. Like I said earlier, you're either bitter or you're better. And not to be cliche, but the glass is half full or it's half empty. And it's always going to be your point of view.
Yeah. And I will tell you, with rain, that... Oh, go ahead.
Terry and I were talking before you guys showed up, before the show started, and that we were talking about, I've received news that I'm terminally ill, and that I've got probably like a year left of living to do, and it's like, it doesn't bother me, and I don't know if it's because I'm either insane or what, but it's like, it's no big deal because, I'm ready to go anytime. I know where I'm going, so I'm not worried about that. And it's like, I just still live life just like I always have. And a lot of people seem to not understand that. And it's like they want me to be miserable or sad or unhappy or, and I just can't be. I've never been one to be able to be sad for longer than about 5 minutes.
And they don't know how to talk to you about it.
Right.
Go ahead, Sid.
Well, I was just going to say, you're really talking about point of view because you've chosen your point of view, and your point of view is to have gratitude and have passion for your life as it is. And that point of view is altering your existence, right? You're living more in this moment than many people will live in 60 or 70 years. That's quite beautiful.
Yeah, I've been really a very fortunate person, I think. I've gotten to do things that most people would only dream of. I've gotten to meet people most people would only dream of. And it's like, I just live each day just as it goes. I always have. I don't pre-plan really anything. I've worked jobs and one day decided, I don't want to do it anymore, and just quit, and moved on. It's just like I've always lived my life under my own terms, and I think that a lot of people could learn a lot from that.
Absolutely,
I agree with that.
I got a feeling Michael's going to live to spite a lot of people for a long, long time, a lot more than he realizes.
I think so, too.
I hope so, man.
Or haunt us all.
Yeah, that's what I can't wait for. That's really the most exciting part about dying.
He cannot wait for that.
Yeah, it's the most exciting part about dying. I'll be able to come back and haunt people that I couldn't visit in real life. So watch out, Ray.
Unbelievable. There is certainly nobody like you, Michael.
Yeah,
there really is not.
People just don't get it, but life is life. It's just like my lung doctor. He got really upset because I told him that I wasn't going to do any treatments, period, because I've known too many people with cancer, some who did do treatments and some who didn't, and the ones who did treatments were more miserable than the ones who didn't. And he said, yeah.
Because all the side effects of the treatment.
Yeah. And he said, well, you're going to die soon. I said, Doc, we all die. It's when it's our time, the Lord takes us. And so, I'm not worried about it. I don't want to suffer to live longer. That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
No, and I think when you know that you have a year left or 5 years left or whatever, if we were all to know the day of our demise, I think we would live every single day to the fullest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You don't worry about, dying so much, you just worry about living at that point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Michael's not even taking his diabetic medication or anything, because anything with poor side effects just really messes up his quality of life.
Well, 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with COPD and was told I had 5 years to live. So they were wrong.
Yeah, they
were wrong. Disappointed.
and now I've got lung cancer on top of it, and they said I got a year left, so I figure I probably got 2 or 3 more.
All right.
Michael has done
excellent.
If Michael's done one thing in life, it's defied the odds and laughed in the faces of people who make predictions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the one thing I've always been very thankful for, I think the most, Ray, is meeting you. You've become a very, very good friend of mine, even though we've never met in person. And
likewise. I got to change that. I got to get out there soon, man.
Yeah, you do. Michael and I are only a couple hours away.
My biggest accomplishment was building New Visions Radio. That was my biggest accomplishment in my life, I think.
Well, I stand by that.
For somebody who has no knowledge of the internet really, or how to do things, I was able to just read and figure out how.
Yeah, that always amazed me. You just you figured it out. Exactly. It's like you built the website, you built the following. It's like, I don't know how to do this, but hey, let's figure it out. Why not?
There you go. Yep.
That would intimidate most people.
Wow.
Yeah, it would. It was quite a task, an undertaking, but he's done a lot that way.
Wow. That's impressive. Yeah.